guys, Mr.BeetleBum here, and today's map strategy video is on Abbey, as you can see up here. Abbey is also known as Monastery. It's a smaller map. It's been around for a long time. I enjoy it myself. I do wish, though, that it was basically held to just tiers 1 through 4 myself, because it's a small map, so it kind of plays well with smaller tanks. You know, you get your tier 10s on this map and it kind of feels a little funny with a whole bunch of mouses right here driving around and whatnot. Anyways, that being said, this being the first video of the series, what I want to let you know is Wargaming has basically made all of our maps with 3 flanks. You typically have your flank going down the middle, and then you have your right flank and your left flank, or vice versa. You can call them right or left, you can call them east and west, north and south, whatever you want. What typically tends to happen is your lights tend to take the middle, your TDs tend to back them up, and the side flanks tend to be for the heavies and the mediums. The heavies normally take the flank that has most cover from arty, whether it be natural cover, like say mountains or rock formations, or a city, man-built buildings, that kind of stuff. And then the mediums take the flank, excuse me, that doesn't have as much, because they're more mobile, they have more speed, yes, and they have, you know, relatively good armor, so it's more likely that they can avoid the arty hits, as long as they're keeping themselves aware that, you know, arty are out there and they need to be arty safe, arty safe. So that being said, let me just go on the map. First of all, normally what you have, I'm going to normally go over lights, TDs, mediums, heavies, and of course arty. So your lights normally would rush into the Abbey here, either from the north there or from the south. You can see the setters going up to the Abbey. Here's a little tip for you, okay guys? If there's just one of you, this is your main focus, okay? If there's 2 of you, both of you can go up there, or maybe one goes up to the Abbey and one somewhere else. It's not a bad idea to take both, because you're probably going to have a fight. But here's the main thing. A lot of times what happens is the lights will rush up into this Abbey and then go in and go over to the little balcony that oversees the 9 line here. Okay, and I know that they mean well when they do that, because what they're doing is they're going over there and they're trying to spot the enemy on the 9 line for their own team. One problem though, if I'm a tank destroyer, I'm over here where the Super Hellcat is, and I'm waiting to snipe, you know, they're over in the balcony. There is no spotting. There are no tanks. It's just proxy spotting. And normally by the time you spot them, it's too late. You know, your shot misses them and they get in. The other thing is he's really not doing any good up there anyways for the first couple moments, because it normally takes quite a while for the mediums to get up there. They're slower. They're going to get up there. They're going to get enemy fire. And then it takes a while to get into where they can actually spot for them. So they mean well, but a lot of times they don't realize that, or they don't realize, you know, hey man, it's going to take a while for them to get there. What I should be doing is spotting this area right here for the tank destroyers. So don't go all the way in. Just kind of pull around the corner here, and that's it. If there's 2 of you, sure, maybe one can go down the buildings, but the reality is you just want to keep this pathway, or any pathway where your snipers can shoot in, you want to keep those well lit. Okay, so that being said, your number 1 priority right there, the villa. Number 2 or 3 or 4, like say you got 5 lights on your team, then sure, go and spot other places. You can spot along this open laneway here. You can spot along in the buildings. If you want, go with the heavies or the mediums and go ahead of them and spot. Maybe there's this little island right here that gets spotted. You can just grab a bush at either end there and just be a passive scout. Along here, you can, you know, go up in here, just be aware of the fight around you and get ready to move if if all of a sudden the enemy's there. Okay, so tank destroyers up north, you have a bush right here and then a bush right here. These are perfect for shooting into the villa. Personally though, I'd back up to this rock and shoot from there, because arties like to shoot those bushes because they know almost every match there's a TD sitting in there. And that goes for the same for the south spawn. You have the bushes right here beside the little building, and you can snipe up there. And then you can also have bushes over here to snipe up along this alley here. But again, I would suggest that you actually stand or park behind it by a good 20 feet, because again, the arty might just be, you know, auto shooting into those bushes. That's the primary position to start with that you want if there's only like 1 TD or 1 real good sniping TD. That's your main priority at the beginning of the game. But as all good TDs know, you have to be able to move. The number one place I find is moving over to the 9 line here to support, and same from up north, moving along the 9 line to over here and supporting whatever's happening down here. It depends which tank I'm playing, but also I do like to come down here as well and get behind the heavies and just peekaboo out once I know that the enemy has already fired. So that would be like your secondary position. So at the start, you want to start up in here or in here, and then move, because what happens is basically this just dies out after the initial push. Once one team wins the Abbey, they have the eyes from the high ground, which is very important. Then it becomes a battle of flanks. So move accordingly. Then there's the mediums. Well, guys, in this one, it's real easy. There's more natural coverage for your tanks along the 1 line flank. So I would recommend the heavies go down the 1 line and the mediums go down the 9 line, both for south and north. Again, just so that there's more coverage there. That means, you know, the slower heavy should be going there. If you're more agile, you know, faster heavy, of course the 9 line's welcome for you. So guys, please don't think that, you know, what I'm saying is what you have to do to be successful. I'm giving you just the basic knowledge here of where you want to take your map, or tank, sorry, on this map, and the reasons why. You can always switch it around. With that being said, as for Artie, the number one place for the north spawn is going to be in this little area right here, or over here. You can also come over for a wide shot, or else to get a better shot down the 1 line, you can come over here. That just kind of takes away some shots to other places. And same with the south spawn. You can see where the GW Panther is right there, and you can see the M4043 is over here. And as well, again, you can come down here to the 2 line if you want a better shot on the flank that's coming down the 1 line. So that's it in general. And what I want to do is just show you quickly here some of the things I was talking about. For example, here's the driveway or the road, whatever, that you want. The lights want to keep spotted at the beginning of the game. And as I'm saying is, don't just drive over here. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Right here is the balcony we're talking about that you can spot all along the 9 line there. What you don't want to rush over there, but what you want to do is just get behind these 2 houses here. That way, if you're here, the TDs that are firing there can't hit you. If you're parked here, the TDs down here can't hit you. Okay, but yet you can peekaboo, meaning like just, you know, boop, boop, drive out, drive back. And just keep the tanks that are along here or along here, keep them spotted for your tank destroyers. That's your main priority, is get that battle, early battle here done with. The other thing I was going to show you was, whoops. Here's the TDs in the bush right here. Again, they're back a little bit. There's the other bush over here for a tank destroyer. Whoops. And you can also come back here as a tank destroyer if you have to shoot along, or that's like if they push and they're winning this flank, that's where you would go. If initially you're just coming from, you know, sniping the villa, this is where you go right about here so you could shoot. Oops. And as for the other team, really the same thing. But I just want to quickly show you this bush. This is what I'm talking about right here. You see this bush? That's where they always park, and the Artie always snipe there. So good idea, basically, instead to get to this rock here. You can still end up sniping all the way up here, no problem. There's also this bush right here. And those are your initial spots for a TD. You can also snipe as they're coming through here too. That's nice. And if you want to have a secondary position, what I was talking about was, again, coming down here, say to about this tree right here, and sniping across. Or you can come over here to where most of the heavies are going to be, and you know, you can put your Artie there, or you can come over here with a tank destroyer, medium, what have you, and basically right about here. You got a tank here, dead tanks here that are nice. You can park here and just peekaboo. You normally will have a heavy right here, and just get behind him, and when he's done shooting, and just scroll out. Scroll back a bit so that you can see what's happening with the enemy tanks. Once you see the enemy tank shoots, pull out, shoot them, you're good to go. So guys, that's about it. It's a fun map. I enjoy it. It's a pretty easy peasy one to learn. Here's the little balcony we're talking about. That's about it. So again, this is just basic strategies, okay? There's a lot more advanced strategies to come. But for right now, I just want you to know where to go. We've all seen it before. Brand new players, poor guys, you know, they've probably played less than 500 games and they rush out and they have no clue where they're supposed to go. You've seen them, you know, the heavy guy that's in the back and he's shooting at a red dot, but he doesn't realize the red dot's on the other side of the villa here, you know, that's been lit by a light. So we feel for them. We've all been there before, right? So what we're trying to do here with these videos, this being the first one, so it's a little longer than the most of them, is we want to basically give them an idea as where they can go with their tanks, or where they should go initially, and then go from there. Okay, guys? So until the next video, Sergeant BeetleBum out.